Hi, hello everyone. Hi, this is Kevin from investbangkokproperty.com. It's time for another review Thursday. In case you haven't checked out the review that we did last week, Daryl actually did a review on this project called Knightsbridge Sathorn. So do check out the link to the video right above here. All right, but today I'm going to be talking about this project, another new development by Noble. And this project they do seem to have a lot of land plots around the very prime locations around Phrom Phong town hall area. So this is another development that they're going to launch soon, and this location is actually within walking distance to Phrom Phong BTS, and the name of the project is called Noble State Sukhumvit 39. So they usually name the numbers after the soil, right? So in this case, it's soil 39, which is like just right behind M Quartier shopping mall, right? Let me just briefly go through with you some details and specifications of the project, and then we can talk about the location, and then we can talk about the price and all whatever that I have, right? Okay, so this is how it looks like. One single tower. All right, I think they seem to like to do it in gold color. Okay, so State 39, that's the name, and there's gonna be two buildings. So once you come in off the entrance of Soy 39, there will be a singular two-story building that is the commercial building. So I suppose they're gonna be leasing it out to businesses for them to run, and then I think they're going to do some co-working space on the second floor as well, right? And then once you go further in, slightly set back away from the main road, then you have your the original high-rise residential building, which is one tower, 36 floors. All right. There's a total of 352 units, so seems to be quite common in this area. So they do not want to do it too mass market. So that's why usually the density is a bit lower. So one bedroom makes up about 300 units, and then you have another 52 units of two bedrooms, as you can see from here. All right, the rest are pretty much standard. So one thing about buying projects from Noble is that they tend to get properties built in very prime area. So Phrom Phong is definitely one of the better locations. Definitely it will not come cheap, but this area where actually you rent to the expatriates, and probably the wealthier Thais would want to stay around here. It's so near to Asok, and then you have all the high-end shopping malls surrounded by you, and then there's this major park that's just right across the road as well. So this a really a very attractive place to stay for someone who can afford it and they want urban living, right? So this is State 39. Some of the facts, right? So let me show you where the location of the property is. All right. So if you look at the map I have on here, okay, this is the BTS or Phrom Phong BTS, all right, and so you have your M Quartier that is right over here. Then Emporium, the original first mall, is actually over here, and then you have your Banjasiri Park. All right, so for the people who are staying in the urban Bangkok, right, staying near the park is actually one of the plus point. In fact, if you have a property that overlooks, like for example Lumpini Park or even Banjasiri Park, that's actually considered our version of a $1 million view. All right, so you do not get sea view. So if you feel that, so actually you face the park, or probably you face the Chao Phraya River, that's where you actually consider you have like one of the prime views in Bangkok. Okay, and of course, if you are aware, there's actually going to be an extension to the M Quartier Emporium Mall. There's this plot here that they are supposed to be building another development called M Sphere, but I'm not sure when they're going to be completing. So it might take a while, but as it is now, M Quartier is like, if you go to the BTS, if you come off the BTS from here, as you say, see this sign, voted best shopping mall by Chinese tourists. Right, so it's quite interesting. Inside there's a lot of eateries and I'm sure if you visit Bangkok, that is probably one of the must-go place nowadays, right? So anyway, previously we were doing this Noble B33, which is along this soy 33, so somewhere here. So you can see here Noble B33. All right, so that's almost pretty much sold out, left like maybe a handful of units. Okay, so for State 39, it is actually on the other side of M Quartier, which is along this soy 39. Okay, once you turn it off the Sukhumvit Road and you go into this soy 39, after the initial stretch, you will actually be passing by several condos, luxury condo like the Diplomat 39, and then you can see here you have the 39 by Saint Siri, you have this Le Raffin, and then of course in between the condos there are some nice cafes and convenience store as well. So once you let me zoom in, there's even a barbecue store here. Okay, so once you walk in, okay, it is about 6 minutes walk. Okay, you actually hit this plot of land, which is gonna be the actual site of State 39. Right now, the show flat is already up. They have already built up the show flat. So if anyone of you are keen and you would like to pay a visit to the show flat, let us know so that we can actually make some arrangement for you. Okay, in fact, if you go to our website, investbangkokproperty.com, and you, let's say you scroll down to the first page, okay, you can actually go to State 39. Okay, just 1 second. Alright, you can go to this State 39 page and you can check out the videos that we have posted. So we have actually did a video walkthrough of the show unit of the 1 bedroom, which is the 29.95 square meter as well as the 41.50 square meter. Okay, and then there's this video that shows the walk from, okay, I just off the sound. So this is so the BTS you can see is actually on the right hand side. Also, once you come down, it's still along Sukhumvit Road. Then you pass by Family Mart. This video is taken by our partners Agnes and Sean, who are permanently based in Bangkok. So for our clients, right, if you actually bought a property through us and it's for investment, and subsequently you require assistance to take care of the property in terms of renting out, selling, or property management, Sean and Agnes have been in Bangkok for a number of years already, so they will be able to assist you to take care of the properties, right? So yep, so you can see that they have turned into the soy 39. So this one, I think the owner is like probably just holding on for a super high offer to come in because it's like so near to the main road. Yeah, so you see some shops, and then there's some condo developments that they're selling, and there are some that are existing. So it's a rather pleasant walk, I would say. You can actually check out the video. We didn't fast forward the video or anything, so you can see that the entirety of the video is 6 minutes. So that's the real walking, and I don't think they're walking at a very fast pace. So there's another condo called Victoria 39. So basically, once you Sukhumvit is always a very, very busy and noisy road, if you would call it. So it's a good place for you to do business, but maybe not a good place for you to stay. Alright, but you want that convenience. So once you turn into soy 39, I realize that things are a lot quieter. At least you can see that right in front of us, you get a proper walking pavement, and then you just have like short pockets of shops, eatery, convenience, and you don't really get a lot of people walking in and out. So the only people probably who will be passing in and out are likely the residents who are staying on either side of the road. Alright, so let me just fast forward a bit. So this is so you can see that lying along this area, these are all pretty nice, luxurious condominium. So this is the Diplomat 39, right? And then there's a few 39 by Saint Siri, and then you have the Raffin. We'll probably go more in depth. Alright, so you see all these motorcycles. So what happens is almost in every soy near the main road, so you have all these motorcyclists that can you can hop onto, and then they can actually for a small fee they can bring you further in if you are lazy to walk. So there's a family mart on my right hand side. There's another condo that's selling starting at about 14 million. So generally the condos that are selling in this area are not exactly what we would call cheap. The total quantum tends to be higher also because for this location, the developer usually go for the higher end finishing, uh, and for the luxury condo, you will also go with the larger sizes. So even for one bedroom, you may come in at about 40 square meter, which is common. Whereas if you were to go further out to maybe the more city fringe or mass market area, then that's where you might see units that are like slightly smaller size, about 20-25 square meters. It is another show flat called Shah. Alright, so you can see that on both sides are like houses, pretty quiet. You can see a lot of people walking around. Right, and this in the middle of the day. Okay, just fast forward. So once you walk, you will see this BBQ sale, which just now I mentioned. If you turn left inside, it's a shop that sells all the barbecue stuff. If you have a big balcony, then you can actually buy a barbecue pit and grill your meat back at home. Okay, so once you pass that, that's where you will see this LED signboard, and this is the actual site and where the current show flat is. So this is State 39. Alright, so it's a 6-minute walk. Okay, unfortunately, it can't really be any nearer already because if you saw the video just now when we walked through, basically both sides are all fully lined up. That's the idea why we would always advise our client, if possible, to buy as much as within the city center. That's where, in order for a developer to secure a new piece of land to build something, they will actually have to buy over from existing old condo, right? That means that land supply are not in abundance. It's really very limited. It's just like pockets unless they decide to en bloc or buy over the existing old land. If not, you really don't have like empty land out of nowhere that you can just blatantly build and throw in lots of supply into the city center. That's not really happening, right? So anyway, so this is the location, the walk of the condo. Okay, now let's talk a bit about the facilities. So out of the entire 36 stories, you have your facilities on the 35th and 36th floor. That's where you have the pool terrace, the sky garden. It is getting common. Yeah, I would say that if you do not have something like this, then you might lose out as a developer. So that's why you can see that nowadays all the high-rise condo, they will put the pool on top to fully utilize the lure of the beautiful Bangkok night sky, right? So you have this, and also on the 9th floor, there's a facilities level as well. There's some greens, gardening, terrace, right? Other than that, then it will be units over. Then units will start from the 10th floor. Between G to the 8th floor, these are the parking lots, the mechanical parking lot. So there's about 100 and just now how many units? 193 units. Okay, yeah, and again that's common. A lot of the tenants do not drive, especially when you stay somewhere in Phrom Phong. The jam can be very bad. But walking to the BTS is not that difficult. So it's just a short 5 to 6 minutes walk. So you pay a premium for being near to the BTS, then all the more you won't drive. So that's why most of them, they do not build like a one-to-one one-to-one car park ratio. Okay, we talk about the unit mix. So you have majority of the one bed. So you can see that the one bed one bath starts from 29.8, almost 30 square meters. That's the small. So you have 120 units of them. Then if you find this too small, you want something larger, then there's a next jump up, 35 square meter there about, or the largest one, 41, or there's even the 58 to but that's 2 bedrooms, sorry. So the 58 to 61 square meter, there's 52 units of the 2 bedroom. Other than that, then it's a 1 bedroom ranging from like 30 square meters to 40 square meters. So so at least you have a good choice of what kind of size. Most of, I would say, the average acceptable size would be about 30 between 30 to 35. So if you are buying those on the 40 square meter one, is considered you're really like paying for the excessive space. But if it's own use, then why not? Then if you are going for the smaller one, the 30, then that's more like a studio unit. So when you rent it out next time, of course the rental that you can command will vary accordingly. All right, so that was where we stopped at just now, the video that we walked. So you can see that next time that where the show flat is, I believe would be in place of it, that would be the commercial building. So they're gonna be recycling some of the stuff there. And in order to reach the residential unit, there's actually a drive-in. So the unit is actually set back a bit from the main Soi 39. So so that will give you more privacy, and you will even be further away from whatever noise that might come from the roads on Soi 39. Right, so that's a very good design by the developer, I feel. Okay, so next up, I'm going to run through some of the photos that they took to share with you the different view that you can expect. Because the whole entire building is essentially a rectangular block. So you have units on all directions. So you can actually take a reference from this and see which are probably the better facing. So this is facing the east, where the morning sun is, and this is looking towards the Ekamai direction. So away from city center. All right, and this is the north view towards the Petroburi. So you can see that immediately next to you is some low-rise houses, and then of course there are condos here and there. All right, this is immediately to the south. So remember just now when we walked past a few condos, so these are the ones. So there will be some partial blockage, if you want to call it, right? So if you want to avoid the view, then maybe you can look at north or okay. This west is the directly towards Asok direction. So this towards city center. All right. Okay, if you look at how the town planning of Bangkok is, so the units that are away from the main road, they actually cannot build too high height, right? So what happens is this is Soi 39, okay, and to the north and to the south, that means when you are facing the project immediately to your left and right, if someone buys over that piece of land, chances are they will be able to build as high as you would have. Okay, so that means probably they can also go up to about 30 to 36 stories. So that's the reason why when you look to the south, then you can see that those previously the developers actually built to a similar height, if not higher or somewhat. So that's why you see all this building blocking. But so if you want something that is less susceptible to blockage, right, then you can consider the west view, because whatever land that is behind you, they are on a smaller soil. So they are unable to get permission to actually build as high as you are. Okay, so but of course it's a trade-off, I understand. If you look towards the west, then you have your afternoon sun. But at the same time, this is the city view. So at night when you open up your windows and you look towards this direction, it will be very, very nice. It will like be glittering because all the buildings will be lighted up. Right? That's the trade-off that you have to consider. Okay. Okay, so next up, before I go into the floor plan and all these things, probably let me show you some of the photos that were taken of the sales gallery. So this is the photos taken of the 29.95 square meters, so which is the smallest one bedroom type. This is the show flat. If you were to go there, you will see exactly the same thing. So the design is pretty much standard. It's always rectangular. Come in through the open kitchen, and then you have your living room. So this is the main door, and then you have this small kitchen area, dining for two, and then your sofa and the balcony on the other side. Alright, balcony or windows on this side. Just different angles. Okay, this is how the bathroom looks very posh, right? Rain shower. Okay, another angle. Okay, so you have this small balcony here, and this is a sliding door to enclose a bedroom. All right, so it is still a proper bedroom, and you can actually put a double bed inside. Yeah. Okay, then now what we are looking at is the photos and the of the 42 square meter show flat. So they did the 29 and then the 42. So this the larger one. So this photo started off us with the bedroom. Yeah, something if you can notice. So usually they hire when we associate with the higher end condos, the luxurious, they always use this ducted AC, right? Seldom they actually will put the wall unit, um, leave it dangling out. So this is quite a common feature that I mean we see even in Singapore or other countries. Okay, of course you get a slightly larger dining area. You can put a 4-seater. Alright. Okay, just some more photos. Let me just run them through. I think it's quite a nice size. If you are really buying for own use, and 42 square meter looks good. Okay, so outside the bathroom, you can even have a small space as a dressing table. It's a lot more functional, and you have this dining area that you can really entertain guests. All right. So yeah, so this is the kitchenette. All right. So this is all the photos that I have for the sales gallery. Okay, so moving on. Next up, let's just first turn it around. We'll just take a quick look at the floor plan and layout, and then before we go to as in the unit layout, before we go to the floor plan. All right, excuse me. So throughout the 9th floor to the 33rd floor, you can So B1 refers to the 2 bedroom lah. So 58.40 square meters. Is the entrance. Alright, open kitchen, living, and then you have your 2 bedroom. It's a 2 bed and 2 bath as well, which this bathroom opens both way. Alright, it is shared between the common room and the living, which is I think is pretty cool, right? Of course, the master bedroom will have its own bathroom, the small little balcony. Alright, if you're going for the 1 bedroom, so the middle size is the medium size is 34 square meter. Straightforward. Come in, kitchenette, living hall, and then you have your enclosed bedroom with wardrobes on both sides, and then your WC. Okay, in this case, I do realize that they do not have bathtub. Let's see whether they have it for the larger ones. Alright, okay, another version, somewhat similar layout. Okay, this is another 2 bedroom type. Usually they do have like a lot of configuration even for similar sizes. So anyway, these are these floor plans, if you want them, do visit our website, investbangkokproperty.com. Leave us your name and contact details. We'll be happy to send you the brochure and the floor plans and the price list when we get them. Right now, we do not have the price list yet. Okay, this was the larger show flat that we saw, 42 square meter. Okay, so of course everything is wider, larger. The room is so much bigger. You can see, right? You have space for your powder room and for your dressing table and all this stuff. And you can even put a L-shaped sofa. Right, so this is really luxury living. Okay, this of course the smaller one. That's why you can see that there's a lot more limitations. The sofa, you can only do a 2.5-seater, 2 dining. That's about it. You can't buy really the very nice sofa, and you can't put like a 4-seater dining table. You can't. Right. But if you're buying for rental, then probably even at 30 square meter there will be demand because of the location. You're essentially paying for location. Okay, so yep. So these are the few types. So basically, it's either 1 or 2 bedrooms, and the 1 bedrooms you actually get to choose various sizes. So now let's look at the floor plans. Alright, so this is the floor plan. We start off with the ground floor. This is the master plan. So I mentioned when you come in, there's this shop, and then this is the actual building. Okay, I shall skip all this. Let's go straight to the unit. So the unit starts on the 9th floor. Alright, so that's also where there's some facilities on the 9th floor. Remember just now we say there's this tea terrace, so it's more essentially, in other words, like a function room, co-kitchen and all stuff. So it's here. 3 lifts to service the entire building. Alright, which is fine. And actually there's a 4th, there's a fireman lift. Right, so for the 9th floor, it starts off with units on one side. So again, which is very common, the 2 bedrooms are always at a corner. So they actually get 2 sides of the view, whereas for the 1 bedroom is either you can see very likely I think they will either be at the north or the south. Okay, so let's jump up to the 10th floor. So there's a void area, so there's only units here. Okay, yeah, I think this is representative. 11 to 33. That's most of the units. So you can see, yeah, that in this case, if you are buying a 1 bedroom for investment, literally it is just a decision between what level you want, what size you want, and either you want to take the north or the south facing. That's all, because that's all you can choose, right? So it's either the north facing. That's how we saw towards the Petroburi side. So right now, currently next to you is still a lot more low rise, and then you see a lot of landed houses. Or you take the south side where it's a bit more developed. You see existing condos like the Diplomat 39 and all those. So yep. So again, it's a personal choice already, but I just want to share you. All right. So you can see that each floor we have about we have about 14 units. All right, 1 to 14, 1 to 14. So 2 bedrooms at the corner, and then you have your various 1 bedroom. I think there's a good mixture between the 30 square meters. Okay, it seems like for the 11th to 33rd floor, you can see here. So if you are going for the smallest unit type, then actually you can only choose from the south facing, because they purposely arrange it that way. So all the smallest unit will be facing south, and all the middle size unit, the 34, will be facing north. Okay, and if you're going for the 42 square meter one, it will be at a corner here, and the 2 bedroom in the corner. Okay, so no, actually it's better they actually took away the dilemma. So if you are going for 30 square meter, you don't even have to think about which side you want, because it's just like here. Unless you go for even on the 9th and the 10th floor, they do not have the 30 square meter. It starts with the 35 square meter unit only on the 9 and 10. And then the smallest unit starts from the 11 to 33, and they're all south facing. Okay, and on the 34th floor, that's where you have like maybe the so-called considered the penthouses. You have the very big units. P for penthouse, right? 99 square meter, 100 square meters. So these are the big ones, right? If not, then I guess for most of us, we'll be looking between 11 to 33. Okay, and once you go to 35, that's where you have your gym, you have your infinity pool. Quite a huge gym, yeah. There's a laundry area, there's a steam bath in each of the washroom. Okay, and then once you go to 36, that's where you have your sky garden. I believe this open space, you can hold parties, or you can have private functions over here, right? That is really what it means to live the so-called the high life, the very luxury urban living in Bangkok. So they have to have all these facilities, right? Nowadays, the new generation of condos, all these condos that are coming up, the facilities have to be of a certain standard before you can really attract the tenants, right? The tenants do have a choice, right? So previously, perhaps the first version of the condos, they might be larger in size, but the facilities are lacking. So you can see that nowadays, recent years, all the new condos that are launched by the various developers, they are all trying to outshine each other in terms of finishing, in terms of state-of-the-art facilities. Because if you have all these unique things that attach to your condo, you will tend to attract people to buy or people to rent from you. All right. So yep, that's the floor plan, and we have seen the unit. I've showed you the location. Now, maybe let me just fill you in a bit more about the price and all these things. All right, so for Nova State 39, right now what happens is, yes, the show fair is open for people to visit and all these things. But in terms of sales, right now what we're doing is the developer is actually gathering so-called registration of interest. So what people interested, you can actually put in your name, and then yeah, and put in a reservation fee. And then what happens is the actual launch is targeted to be the international launch, which is targeted to be on the 25th or 26th November, which is like maybe 2 to 3 weeks from now. All right, and the price list, I know you guys are probably thinking, how much and all these things. Price list would be out only around 18th of November. All right, that's what I know. That's what we are told. So if you're interested, do contact us in advance. Then once we get hold of the price list, then I will be able to let you know. Okay, but indicatively, it is between 280K to 330K per square meter. All right, so you can safely use 300 plus minus as a benchmark, multiply by the size that you're looking for. So say you're looking at a 30 square meter, 300,000 type per square meter. So we're talking about 9 million there about for a unit, right? Yep. So that's the price, and of course the in terms of the foreign quota, for foreigners. All right. We only are able to selected levels are released for sales to foreigners. Right, and it's normal. All right. So we will let you know which are the levels that you can actually choose from, and there is a early bird discount. Currently it is confirmed at 10%. Right. So whatever price that you expected to buy at listed, then if you are the first few, if you register your interest early, then we will be able to get you a 10% discount. Okay, we do not know the payment terms and all these things yet. So the information are still rather limited, but we have the floor plans, we have the units, we know what are the levels that are for sale. So do drop us a line, visit our website investbangkokproperty.com, or you can contact me. All right, my name is Kevin, so you can actually you can WhatsApp me. All right, that's my number. 98283196, or you can WeChat me. All right, to that's my WeChat account. All right, so you can contact me. I'll be happy to send you the brochure, send you the floor plan, and send you whatever details that we can get our hands off. All right, and then you can actually see whether this is something right for you. And if let's say you're keen, then do register early so that 25th you can be one of the first few to choose either the best price unit or the best facing units. Okay, so yeah, just coming to the last part, and before I end off conclude about this video, I just want to show you this table using information pulled out from various sources. I'm sure you'll be asking, 280 to 330,000 type up per square meter. Some people might be thinking that is it a bit too much price, too high a price to pay? Is it too pricey? Right. Let me give you a comparison, because we must take everything in context. Let me give you a feel of what are the going prices in that area, so that you can better make a sound decision. These are 5 projects that are found along Soi 39. So in fact, if you saw the video that I walked you through just now, we in the video we actually passed by a number of them, and I've sorted them out in the number in terms of the number of years that they were actually constructed. So remember just now we saw this project called Le Raffin 39. All right, that is probably one of the older high-end condo that has been around since it's been built since 2009. So that's about almost 10 years old, right? And maybe I want to point you also to Victoria 39. That is probably the newer one, 2017. That's by AP Thai. Right, and the interesting thing is, in fact, for some projects such as the Le Raffin and Victoria, you can't even find one bedroom. And even for the two bedroom, it comes in at sizes in excess of 100 square meters. Right, and despite that kind of size, right, sheer size, which is really meant to target the luxury market. So I mean, everything has its place. So if you were to build something like this in Phrom Phong, I am totally agreeable, and I believe that the buyers will buy, the rich will buy, because they can associate with that location. But you can't do something like this in places like, for example, I don't know, it's like with slightly further out. You can't do that, right? So my point being that this is really a area that is meant for the rich and famous to stay, right? And these people are actually buying houses in this area, and that's why the developer, having done their research, they are building such kind of category of products in this area. So you can see this for Victoria and Le Raffin, they do not have one bedroom, minimum two bedroom at about this kind of size, 127, 230. In fact, there's the Victoria being the newer one, so the price point is somewhat more in line with current market. It's selling at an average of about 300,000 Thai baht per square meter. So that means if you want to get a unit, you need to have a budget of about close to 40 million Thai baht. All right, and even for the Raffin, because it's 10 years old, so yes, of course the per square meter is lower at about 175. But even at 175, that's you because they only have big unit, and once you factor all that in, you still have to come in at average buying price of 40 million budget before you can actually get a unit there. Alright, so this is the kind of category, this is kind of S-grade category products we are seeing that are found in the Phrom Phong area. Then maybe the closer comparison would be, you can see that this 39 by Sansiri, alright, about 5 years old, built 2013. So the average size is about, for the one bedroom is about 55 square meters. Because it's like slightly older, so the average transacted price is about 230,000 Thai baht per square meter. But because of that size, you would still have to come in at about 12 million budget and above. All right, and the average rent for the one bedroom is about 50,000. Okay. Over there, the rent is, you can roughly use it as about 1,000 Thai baht per square meter as a gauge. Right? If it's newer, like for example this XXX 9 by Sansiri, which is more recently built. Alright, so it's 50 square meters. The rent for one bedroom typically is asking about 60,000 Thai baht, and the price is about 280,000 Thai baht per square meter. Okay, we come to the closest, the Diplomat 39, all right, which will be which recently finished. 2018 was supposed to finish in 2019. So the average size of the one bedroom is about 60 square meters. Price 320,000 Thai baht, and we are looking at entry price about 20 million to get a one bedroom, and the average asking rent is about 65,000, right? So therein lies an opportunity for buyers of the Noble State 39, or perhaps even Noble B33. That is, Noble is building one bedroom that are slightly smaller at about 30 to 35 square meters to capture this niche that would probably want to stay at such a class location, but maybe these big sizes are in a way maybe not so suited to the millennial lifestyle, or bluntly put, because of the size, you have to pay way lot more. Right, 60 square meters is almost double the size of the 30 square meters that Noble State 39 is going to offer. So you are essentially buying into a very good location, but without having to pay in excess of 10, 12 or 13 or 14 million Thai baht. You can probably, if you get in early, you can probably choose unit about 9 plus 10 million Thai baht. So I think the Noble State 39 and Noble B33, which I have done a review earlier, will help to satisfy this certain market segment or market niche, right? And then with that kind of unit, of course, smaller unit, you would not be expecting rent like 50 or 60,000. But if we go by average of about 1,000 Thai baht per square meter, if you own a unit that is about 30 to 35 square meter, I can safely say that you can probably look at a rent of about 30 to 35 square meters, 30 to 35,000 Thai baht per month. But hey, let's just be very conservative. If you are okay, if you are happy to do it at about 25 or 28,000, I think you should be able to rent it out fairly easily, because if someone who has that kind of budget, or they see why not, I don't need that big a space, 30 square meter is good enough for me as a single. I do not need to burst my budget by paying 60,000 Thai baht a month. But now I have another project, brand new, same location, but because of the smaller size, I can save for my rent. I can still enjoy all the same facilities, enjoy the same good location, proximity to the BTS, to the town center, everything. But now I'm only paying like half the price. Why not? So I guess that's the value proposition of Noble State 39 and Noble B33, right? So yeah, so that's it. I'll leave it you guys here, and I'm gonna end this off with the promotional video of the Noble State 39 that will run straight after this, and I will see you next week for the next review, right? If you have any further questions, remember you have my contact details just now. So let me just pull it out again. So this is my WhatsApp, and this is my WeChat. Just feel free to drop us a line. We'll be happy to send you the information and answer any queries that you may have. All right, so I'll sign out here. This is Kevin once again from investbangkokproperty.com. I'll see you at the next video. Bye bye.